Hello, everyone, and welcome to this 41st edition of Options Talk between Raghunath and me. What a week this has been. Coming straight to charts, there was a small decline on Monday, that is 15th of March, and then again a pullback because there was a support near 14,800 which acted. But after that, it couldn't cross 15,000, 15,100 decisively, and then after that, it started making lower highs and lower lows all the way till Thursday, and then it actually broke support. So everyone was looking at that 14,469 on the Nifty spot, and that was broken. But then there was a remarkable recovery later on in the not only second half. In fact, it started right in the first 1 hour after the low was made. So just zooming out this chart a bit, you'll see the gap support which was there in the spot chart as well. And it was taking support earlier on the higher side. Yesterday, it took support on the lower side. So naturally, this becomes a major support now. Till then, it is a buy on dip, but of course, right now it is still not out of the woods because I will show you some other charts which says that Nifty is not yet strong in that sense. Okay, it has taken support, but that doesn't mean that it is bullish yet. So coming to the Nifty spot chart, sorry, not this. This is the one, and this one, yeah. So on the spot chart, this was a gap which was, in fact, the high on the budget day was 336.3, this one over here. And the next high was 14,469, which had given support earlier twice. Once over here, the another time was here, in fact, just the previous day. And yesterday it went and took support on the lower side of the gap. So that's where gaps play a major role. So in fact, I tweeted also that the gap is 336 to 469, and yesterday's low was 350. So just 14 points shy of this gap high. Coming to the Bank Nifty ratio chart. Now this is where, which quite aptly indicates that something is wrong with this market. If you see the Bank Nifty ratio chart, it is still not out of the woods. In fact, yesterday also everyone knows that Bank Nifty did not perform much the way some Nifty stocks perform. So Nifty was definitely outperforming Bank Nifty, and this ratio chart is definitely not looking bullish as of now. So this needs to be looked at, and I mean, even for those who don't have the Bank Nifty ratio chart, what I mean, a lot of people have asked me, all you can do is just look at the percentage gain or loss in Nifty and Bank Nifty at any given point of time. So even if, let's say, at 10 o'clock, Bank Nifty is, let's say, 0.5% up and Nifty is 0.7% up, that means Nifty is outperforming. And you have this chart at the back of your mind. And let's say market goes down and Bank Nifty is 1% down and Nifty is 0.5% down. So that means this chart will definitely go down further. So this is not looking well for the banks, at least. Bank Nifty is not something which is I would be bullish on right now. Coming to the PCR of Nifty, yesterday we saw how there was a big dip in Nifty, and that's why all the PCR lines went down. And then there was a recovery. But of course, if you see the put call ratio on the left hand side, 14,500 is 2.65, which is definitely not bearish yet. 600 is 1.8, which is also sort of bullish. 700 is on the borderline, 1.2, and 800 is definitely bearish. It is just 0.7. So unless this improves, it's going to be a struggle for Nifty to cross 14,800 and 14,900. On the lower side, 14,600 and then 14,500 can act as support as long as the put call ratio remains above 1.2, 1.5, and in 14,600 and above 2 in 14,500. So this needs to be looked at if in case there is a dip on Monday. Of course, on the higher side, like I said, the put call ratio is not too bullish on the higher side. So that remains a cause of concern. So we'll have to see what happens going forward on Monday onwards. Coming to the point and figure chart of Nifty, this is definitely not showing bullish signs because first of all, it has given a close below the moving average on Friday or Thursday. Yesterday, there was a pullback which has not yet closed above the moving average. The moving average is at 14,791 and the close is 14,744. So we need a close above 14,800. And like I said, based on the put call ratio, that can act as a resistance. But first thing is a close above 14,800 to be bullish. Second thing is, although we have that gap at 14,336 here, this is going to be interesting because if this gives the double bottom sell now is below 14,540, 47. So any close below 14,545 on the spot, of course, which is 200 points lower from here, will give a double bottom sell, and that is below the moving average. So that is a bearish setup for anyone who knows the setup parameters on point and figure charts. This will become a truly bearish setup on a close below 14,540. So again, like I said, the PCR is not very bearish at that level, but in case this closes below that, then this becomes a bearish setup. After that, I'm not sure where it will go, because the budget day low is way lower, near 13,700, 13,660 over here. So who knows, it might go till there also. A lot of people ask me how to identify if a market is reversing after a big gap down or something like that. The easiest way is, of course, that gap was one thing yesterday. Another thing which I always look for is, if you see this 14,400 put of yesterday, because that was sort of at the money when Nifty made the low. So look at the chart on a 3% box size. There was a huge anchor column which was because of the gap down, not a gap down actually, but flat, then a big decline. And then it made a high near 220, 225, and there was no follow through, and it started selling off immediately. So that high was made near just near 9:30. In fact, that was the time when Nifty made the bottom. And after that, this second column was a bearish column. That time it became quite clear that this follow through is not going to come. That was the first sign. Of course, you cannot catch the top of this put, no way. Only thing is, if you're looking at the gap of Nifty spot, which was the low was 350, but then that time the sentiments are so scary that it will become difficult for anyone to act. But the first sign is this does not give a follow through, and then gives a bearish column, and then the next double bottom cell below of the bearish column. So that is the first sign. Similar thing was observed in the Bank Nifty 35,000 put. 1 minute, let me read. So this was again a 3% chart where you have an anchor column in the morning, which did not give a follow through. So there was no double top buy. What is a follow through? It is a double top buy. So this is sort of a follow through here. This is a follow through. So that did not come, and then there was a bearish column again, and then the follow through to the bearish action on the put. So these two factors are important in identifying that the follow through is not come. In fact, I have tweeted these charts even earlier. I have discussed with a lot of people on Twitter. The first sign is, if there is a gap down, look for a follow through on the options charts. If that doesn't come, then be cautious with that position and you start looking for the other end. So if put is not giving a follow through, start looking at the call chart. And if that gives a buy, let's say a double top buy, even on a lower time frame like 1% box size, that is a good enough indication to, you might not reverse your trade, but at least you can sort of hedge it by buying that call or something like that. So there is no way you can call the top again, like I said, but then that can help in identifying whether the market is trying to reverse or not. Of course, this is on an intraday basis. I'm, like I said, on the EOD basis, that pullback yesterday which happened, which you see all the way, even on the point and figure chart, you see there's a, in fact, a double top buy above 14,550 over here, which was a good pullback, and it went almost to, it crossed 14,800 for a while. So that is something which happened later, but initially you had all signs that this is not giving a follow through. So maybe by 10 o'clock, 10:30, it was clear that Nifty is not going down, because a lot of people say we were trapped in short. But then if you are looking at these kind of pointers, it is enough to identify that something is not right with the big down move in the first 15-20 minutes, and you need to be careful with the shorts, or at least hedge. But again, like I said, on the EOD chart, this has given a bearish setup. In the sense, it is below the moving average. So as long as this does not close below 14,800 and then gives a follow through in the form of a double top buy, this is a sell on rise market, depending on where the intraday rise goes, 800 or 900. But that is going to be maybe a big resistance going forward, maybe till expiry. So that's going to be interesting over the next 4 days, and maybe between 14,600 and 14,900 we might be sideways, for because after a big move like over here you saw there's a big move, then 2-3 uh, sideways columns, maybe something similar might happen, and then the next follow through will come. So a double top buy above 14,800 or a double bottom sell below 14,540 are the two levels to look for, and then take a stance on being positionally bullish or bearish. Yeah, that's all my side, Raghunath. So Raghunath will talk on adjustment basics today for options, and let's see what he has to tell us.
Okay, thank you, AP. Hello, guys. Recently I have come across one. It's kind of not a book, but it's a booklet by a person called Michael Catholico, and it was quite interesting to go through that booklet. It was released, I think, around 2007. Oh, it's easily available online if you search with that name about options adjustments, Michael Catholico, you'll get it. So basically, I will talk about these adjustments basics, based on that book. So I will cover that book in several parts of the options talk here. So today we'll talk about like what are the adjustments basics, like how to learn these basics of the adjustments using option strategies. So what you have to master. So we will talk about all those kinds of things, and I'll also show some, like what kind of adjustments you can do, and I will give an example, but much more detailed adjustment techniques we will talk in the upcoming options talk videos. All right, so these are the standard disclaimer which you already know. So what are the option adjustment basics, and why you need them? So you learn adjustments of basic options to adapt to the price action of the underlying, right? Market is not, is something which go in one direction. Of course it has been going in one direction in this last 1 year, but this doesn't happen all the time, right? It has zigzag motion, or a Brownian motion, as people would like to call. So in order to adapt to that kind of price action, we do these options adjustments, so that we stay in a comfortable zone with respect to our option strategies. So we do the adjustments. So the adjustments are done to increase the odds of being profitable and to reduce risk, that is, to increase the risk reward ratio. So we do, so that is the main aim beyond doing these options adjustments. So we can also use adjustments as a defense against losing positions. So sometimes you enter a options in an option strategy, and immediately it might go into a losing position, right? So what would you do in that scenario? You could do a certain kind of adjustment to defend against that losing position. So that is also one of the idea behind doing adjustments. The main benefits of doing adjustments is to extract further potential reward by locking in and or shifting to more favorable profit zones. Let's say you have placed an options strategy, and you got into a good position where you are sitting on a profit. So our aim in that case would be to extract further potential reward, like to increase your the potential of profit potential in this case, or by locking the gain, and also to move our option strategy into a more favorable profit zone. So I will show you one example on how we are going to do that. So these are the ideas, like why you have to do options adjustments. Of course, this is not a requirement for you to do the adjustments. You could do simple call option, put option, take the profit and exit, take the stop loss or take the profit and you exit the position without going through these options gymnastics, I would call. So but this is for those who want to be in the game and try to extract more from that. So this is for those kinds of people where you can extract more from the options. Now, to learn the options adjustment basics, right? You have to master 4 particular option strategies. Okay. So if you learn these 4 particular option strategies and the ability to shift from each one of them to another one, like to shift from vertical spread to butterfly, or butterfly to back to vertical spread, and among them. So if you are able to do shift between these strategies and learn these strategies to the core and in depth, then you would be do any kind of adjustment in future, any kind, barring of course calendar spread adjustments, which requires a different kind of knowledge. But this is I'm talking about the very basic option strategies. So if you learn these 4 basic option strategies, then you will be able to adjust any kind of option strategy. So these are the basics that you have to learn. Master these 4 option strategies: vertical spreads, and then butterflies, and then ratio spreads, and then a box spread. So though box spread is not that important, but it might kind of play intermediary role. For example, from changing to one particular option strategy to another particular option strategy. Though we may not cover this in much depth, and maybe retail traders can ignore, because this kind of strategy is mainly for arbitrage kind of trades. So you can ignore this from this, but at least learn these three main option strategies. So now, as I said, this is the credit to Michael Catholicos, the booklet. So this is from that booklet. So you should be able to do these adjustments between these basic option strategies. Okay, like you should be able to shift from one another. And once you do that, then you can say that you are the master of options adjustments. So learn these things, and I will show you how this is done. Now let's say right now the market, the spot price of Nifty is 14,744. So now long call is, this is not really a option strategy, right? It's just a plain vanilla call option, long call option. Now I buy a long call option. Now how I go to the other 4 option strategies from this part. Okay. Now if I want to make this into a vertical spread. Now vertical spread are, again, there are 2 kinds, right? Debit spread and credit spread. So here we are only going to talk about debit spread. So in order to make a long call into a vertical debit spread, you simply sell out of the money call option in this case, right? So we will sell 15,000 call. If you sell a simple 15,000 call, you are changing from long call to vertical spread. Okay, like this. So I have sold here a 15,000 call, right? So once I sold that, I made this into a vertical spread. This is a debit spread, right? Because we are paying extra money to stay in this trade. We are not getting any credit from this trade. That's why it's called a debit spread, vertical debit spread. Okay. So now, how to shift from this trade to the next strategy, which is in a ratio spread. Okay. So how you do that? Let's see. So you simply sell one more lot of 15,000 call. Okay. So in the ratio spread, what we are doing is that in the normal vertical spread, we are doing 1-to-1 ratio, right? 1-to-1 ratio. But here your ratio should be much higher than 1 to 1. Then that will become a ratio spread. So here we are doing a 1 to 2. So you are simply adding one more call. You are selling one more call option to the existing vertical spread to make it into a ratio spread. So we are shifting from long call to vertical spread to ratio spread, right? So this is a ratio spread because you have 1 to 2 ratio here because these are both the same, right? 15,000 call. Now, uh, uh, how can I make this ratio spread into a butterfly, right? Butterfly option strategy. Now, how we do is that by simply buying a long call option further out of the money long call option from your this short option. Now the width from this short option should be same on both sides to make it to a butterfly. So here 300 point width. So then you have to buy a 300 point width out of the money call option. So in this case it will be 15,300 call. So now we have moved from long call to a vertical spread to ratio spread to butterfly. So as you can see, you have progressed from long call to butterfly by simply shifting from one option strategy to other option strategy. So that is what I meant, that if you learn these strategies, then you know how to adjust these strategies, how to shift from one strategy to the another strategy. Now we move to a box trade. Now the box trade, you have to move from vertical spread here. Okay, so forget about the ratio spread and butterfly. Okay, now we are changing from vertical spread to box spread. So in the box spread, what we are doing is that, so here you do a reverse of this with put options. Okay, so what is the reverse here? Here we buy a 15,000 call put option and sell a 14,700 put option. Exactly reverse of that. So you have to share this 15,000 strike, right, for the put spread. So how we are doing that? Like this. So you buy a 15,000 put and sell a 14,700 put. That you get a box trade. So this is mostly for arbitrage. So you may not require to go through this adjustment in general. So now you learned these 4 basic option strategies on how to move from from long call option to vertical spread to ratio spread to butterfly. All right. Now let's say you have mastered those 4 particular option strategies. Okay. Now in the same book that I have referred to, this Michael Catholico, that what are the options adjustment techniques? So how you can do these adjustments? So now he came up with this decision tree, adjustment decision tree, depending on how the underlying is moving. So let's say you have a long call option. Now you want to so if the market went up or the underlying has went up, then what kind of adjustment you can do? And what if market went down? Then what kind of adjustment you have to do? So you have to, for example, if the market went up, then you have to shift from long call to vertical, and then from vertical, and if it further goes up, then you move from vertical to fly. But at the vertical stage, vertical spread stage, if the market goes down, okay, here if the market goes down, then again you can shift back to long call. And if the from the fly stage, if the market goes even further up, then you can change it to a fly rule. It's called a condor position. Condor position is nothing but a, I will show you what is that condor position. So basically, these are the adjustments scenarios that you can use. It's like a decision tree that you can use based on how the market is moving. So you are adapting to the market price action, okay, the underlying price action, depending on how it is going, what is going up and then down, up, down. So depending on that, you're doing these adjustments. Okay. So uh, the the upcoming option talk episodes will be dealing on these different kinds of options adjustment techniques and what kind of decision tree you can go through. So today what I will show is that I'll show a basic decision tree, which is this top one, where the market will keep going on up and what kind of adjustments you can do. Okay, what adjustment techniques you are going to use. Okay, all right, let's go to the adjustment technique. So for that bullish movement, what I do is that I start on February 1st. You know, then because then you had this up move, right? So we cover this up move in that adjustment technique to demonstrate the adjustment technique. So we go to our option simulator. So 25 February expiry, and we go to 1st February. And again, just for demonstration purpose, I like to do with EOD at the end of day at 3:20 p.m. Of course, you could do this at any time point of time. All right. So we are first starting with a long call option. Okay, so 14,300 around long call option. Okay. So here the 14,300 long call option. So this is the payoff. And now we go forward. Okay, now we are sitting on profit. Okay, we can wait for a bit to be more favorable. Okay, now it went up even further. Now at this point of time, you can decide, okay, now I want to lock in my profit and I want to increase my probability of profit or increase my odds of success even more than what this a simple long call option can offer. Now, if you look here, the maximum loss here is minus 25,000. Okay, the maximum profit, of course, is undefined. Now, I will draw a line here because to show the effect of the next adjustment that we are making, right? So the idea here is that, okay, this is the slope and this is your maximum loss. So this is our zero line. So we'll, after adjustment, we bring back our chart here exactly here to show the shift after you make the adjustment. All right. So the adjustment here is, if you go to the decision tree, you change it to a vertical spread after, the market or the underlying moves up, right? So now I can decide to make maybe 15,000. But depending on how much protection, how much risk you want to reduce, and how much profit potential you need, you can tweak around which call option to sell. So here I'm selling just 15,000 call. Okay. So if you, for example, if you want to reduce risk much higher, you want very less risk, then you can sell 14,900 or 14,800. But if you want a little bit more profit potential, then you can move further up. Like you can sell 15,000 call or 15,100, 15,200 call, like that. So now I sell 15,000 call, 15,000 strike. Okay. So now if I come here, okay, we have to disregard this thing because the this has changed. Let me because the Y scale has changed. Okay. So just look at these two. Okay, this is, so now if you look here, this is the long call option. Now you have uh, moved your profit zone much closer here, right? From here to here. See how much big change you have made, right? Huge change in profit zone. So you're making your profit zone much more favorable than a long call option. And if you look at the max loss, it was around minus 25,000, right? Before the adjustment. But after the adjustment, you have reduced your risk to just this, around 10,000. Minus 25,000 to minus 10,000. So you have reduced your risk and you have moved your profit zone much closer. So you have much more higher chance of being profitable than by just holding the long call option if the market doesn't move in the same direction or in the with the same momentum or with the same velocity, right? So that is the reason behind making this adjustment, that you reduce your risk and you increase you make your profit zone much more favorable to you, as I shown you here, that from this to this you're making it much more favorable. Okay, all right. So this is the first adjustment. Now let's see what happens if the market keeps on moving up. Okay, so now as you can see the market is keep on going up, and here it's almost the breaching your the short call here. Okay, so at this point of time you might be thinking that I can make this into a risk-free trade. There's a possibility to make this a risk-free trade by reducing the risk even further and to lock your profit even further. So how you can make this adjustment? You simply make this vertical spread into a butterfly, right? Remember that I showed you how to make this into a butterfly, right? So that knowledge comes into picture here, and that is why you have to master those particular strategies. So you can quickly make these adjustments. As it becomes as a second nature to you. It comes to you as a second nature. So to make this into a butterfly, I have to sell one more of 15,000 call, okay, and then of the same width you have to maintain for the wing, of the other wing, right? So what is the width here? 700 points width. So first we will sell 15,000 call. Okay, one more thing. Again, we will draw this. Okay, just to show you that whether we are going to change our profit zone even further. Okay, and here your risk is here minus 10,000. Okay, now let's go and sell 15,000 call. Okay, and then in order to maintain the same width of the wing, you have to sell 15 or you have to buy 15,700 call option. So now this will become a butterfly. It's called a typical call butterfly. Now if you look here, so this is zero level, right? So now you have moved your profit zone even further close, right? You're staying exactly in the middle here. So now another thing is that you have reduced your risk from minus 10,000 to risk free. So 5,500 is guaranteed here, no matter where the market closes at expiry, right? So now you're sitting in a nice position where you don't have to do anything here, right? Okay, but let's see if we can do further adjustments. Okay, so now I'm removing this. So now you understood the logic, right? Why we made this adjustment to reduce the risk and make it this trade risk free, totally risk free, zero loss trade. Now let's see what happens if we move further up. So now the market has moved further up. Now at this point of time, you must be thinking that okay, if this keep on going up, then you might be losing some uh, from your potential trade. You might be losing, right? Of course, you have made this trade risk free, so you may not want to do anything here. But if you want to uh, increase the profit potential, or if you increase your profit zone further, okay, okay, then you can do one more adjustment here. For example, let's imagine that if the market keeps on going up, if it goes here, then you're not getting much from this trade, right? But I want to get much more from this trade, then I want to make an adjustment here. So what adjustment you can make here? You can make this trade into a condor. It's called a fly roll condor. You're rolling the fly into a condor. So how you do that? So in order to do that, so you have to cover one 15,000 call. So there should be only one short 15,000 call. Okay. And then you have to make this 15,700 into a short call. The overall position should be a 15,700 short call. And then we buy further out of the money long call option. Okay. And that long call option should have same width as this one, 15,000 call to 14,300 call, 700 points. Because we are going to make this 15,700 call into a short call, so the width from here should be 700 points. So that should be 16,400 call long option. Okay. So now I will show you how to do that. So first we have to cover this 15,000 call by buying this 15,000 call. And at the same time, to make this long 15,700 call into a minus 15,700 call, we have to sell two lots option. One lot to cover this and one lot to make into a short call, right? So 15,000 call we buy, okay, and then 15,700 we buy two lots, and then the wing we buy the wing 700 points further. Sorry, okay. Sorry, this should be sell. Two lots. So now you make it into a condor. So now you see this has become a condor. Now imagine earlier you were seeing a payoff like this, right? Earlier you are seeing a payoff like this. So if the market kept on moving, then you would not see, I mean, it should be much closer like this. Yeah. So if the market kept on moving, you might not get much more here. But if you made it into a condor, you're increasing your profit zone here. If it went here, you'd be still have the max profit that was possible, which is around 40,000 here, right? That is possible with this adjustment, which was not possible with the risk-free fly position, butterfly position. So now let's see what happens from here. So now we don't have to do anything because the market is still in our favor. And if you look at your risk also, it's still around 11-12,000, because at the when you first initiated the long call option, it was minus 25,000. So you have reduced your risk and you're still profitable, and you're still looking at a good profit zone here. And let's see what happens. So here now you're at 33,000 profit. You could exit here, right? That's one possibility. But let's see what happens if we stay till expiry. So that is the idea behind the adjustments, that you try to extract as much as possible. So it went down, but since you're already made all the adjustments, you don't need to make. Of course, you can go back to your fly position again if it's favorable. That is also a possibility. But now we are getting close to expiry, so it doesn't make sense to do all those kinds of things. Okay. Okay, finally we close at 40,000. So that is the advantage of doing these adjustments. So you master those 4 adjustment option strategies, and then you learn the ability to shift from one option strategy to the other option strategy, right? So that is the idea behind showing this simulation, that you can use this adjustment decision tree, and depending on how the market or the underlying is moving, you can adapt your trade to that price action, and try to stay in a perfect profit zone, profitable zone, and by keep on reducing your risk. Okay, so that's the idea behind this option stock. I hope that you have found this very useful, and we will cover more simulations of this adjustment decision, and look at the next time we might look at a market when the market is going down, how you would adjust your trade, how you defend your losing position, for example. So this we will look in the next episodes of option stock. Okay, if you have any feedback, so leave comments or tweet to us or email us. That's all from me, AP.
Yeah, I think this is a very good strategy for sort of trend following and riding the trend more than just booking and sitting idle, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. The idea is that see, there are many people who go only by price action, and then they just take long call options, and or long put options, and
Yeah,
they just ride the trend and then just exit the positions.
right.
For them, this may not be for them. I mean, because they don't want to complicate their trading by doing all these kind of adjustments. But this is
Yeah,
for
only doubt
those.
I had is, I mean, the example you took is fine, February, because it was almost a trending month right from day one.
Yes,
If it is a sideways month, number one, or
exactly.
number two, if it is a two-way month, I mean, up in the first half and second, down in the second half, that will be interesting to see what kind of adjustments need to be done there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
So see, as I shown you in this adjustment decision tree, this already covers like what you can make. For example, in the same one, it went up, and then what
yeah.
it goes down. You make another
Hmm.
adjustment. What again it goes up? Again you can make an adjustment. So you can do all kinds of adjustments using this decision tree, depending on how the market is behaving.
Right.
So this we will cover, each kind of adjustment decision we'll cover in the next episodes.
Okay, so something to look forward to. Only thing is, one thing I need to make it clear that people should be completely conversant with what are the, I mean, what is a butterfly, what is a condor, those kind of things. So
Yes,
it's not that you are not aware of that. You need to be aware of that and then only try to make any adjustments.
exactly. You can just simply go to strategy builder, and you can simply practice this step by step. For example, from
Yeah,
long call to vertical spread to ratio spread to butterfly, and again back from that, in the reverse. So if you keep
Hmm.
just practicing those, then it becomes to you very easy to, to understand these adjustment techniques in a much better way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all from our side, people, and hope you enjoyed this. And please leave us your feedback on the YouTube channel or on Twitter or on email. And let's see it. I can say one thing: next week promises to be quite an interesting week. And in fact, even follow up either on the higher side or on the lower side might give a good move. So let's hope for be on the right side of the market. And bye bye.
Bye.